what does manhood mean to you?
And so, from my perspective, manhood is all about integrity and also being able to create an environment where the people around you are better because you are there by providing the resources, the opportunities, your wisdom, and the like. And sometimes it just means just showing up and being an example um, in the middle of duress or even in peace. I don't think a lot of Black men get opportunities to just be in peace and be an example of what good looks like. And it's an outstanding opportunity to be able to fight through all the battles that we have to fight through, and then find moments of solace in our lives that we can share with the people that we care about the most, and then create more opportunities to do that more often.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of King Crush Thursday, the series where we highlight and uplift Black men, because frankly, not too many people are doing it. My name is Val Gay, and I'm super excited about this brother today. He is a visionary in so many ways. He is a visionary leader in the healthcare space, specifically around creating opportunities for equitable healthcare for Black people, which is amazing. He's also been a leader in adult education, and he's a two-time author for children's books. This brother's name is Mr. Philip Cunningham. Hi, Philip.
Hey, how are you doing, Val? I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm doing well, and I'm so glad that you are here. And, Philip, as we've talked about, and as you know, this repository that we are creating by adding your interview of 6 questions, we're well over 100 different successful and positive Black men, is meant to serve as a narrative widening tool, if you will. As one brother says, what we see in the media is not necessarily incorrect, it's just incomplete. Another brother says that while 95% of us do the things that we're supposed to be doing, we take care of our kids, we're doing all the things, the media spends 95% of its time on that 5% that's not. And so we want to kind of right the scales a little bit. And with ultimately a young king who may or may not have positive Black male role models, to come to this repository, same 6 questions answered in all these different ways, and perhaps find guidance there. And then for the rest of us who are neither male or even Black, for us to come in and have our minds opened so that ultimately as a society, we can make space for you, frankly, to just be human and be your contributing self to our society. And so I'm so glad that you are here. And I'm going to get started with the first question, which is, what does manhood mean to you?
That's a really great question. Manhood means to me. I mean, I've seen it in a bunch of different ways throughout my life. From my father to my grandfathers. I've had the special opportunity to create really great relationships with lots of different men throughout my life. And one thing that's been consistent is, and I kind of count as being part of manhood, is the ability to stand on the things that you said that you will do and then continue to do those things. So I'm guessing it's just, we call it integrity, right? Just a person who stands next to their word, and it's not something that you have to convince them to do based on what it is that they said. And so I think that's one thing. I think the second thing, from my perspective, and this may be just a traditional perspective, is to protect and provide for their family. I mean, I have a son and a daughter on the way. I have a pretty large familial group, and I take pride in the fact that I can make sure that not only are they taken care of sometimes financially, but also emotionally, physically, being there even spiritually. Like, there are times where my little brother might call me and be like, I'm going through this at work, and we can walk through what the situation looks like, and I can provide like insight from my perspective, right? At the same time, there may be times where I'm like, I don't know how to help you, but I know somebody who can help you. And like manhood to me means that I can help put him in position to be his most successful by giving him the resources that I have access to. And so, from my perspective, manhood is all about integrity and also being able to create an environment where the people around you are better because you are there by providing the resources, the opportunities, your wisdom, and the like. And sometimes it just means just showing up and being an example um in the middle of duress or even in peace. I don't think a lot of black men get opportunities to just be in peace and be an example of what good looks like. And it's an outstanding opportunity to be able to fight through all the battles that we have to fight through and then find moments of solace in our lives that we can share with the people that we care about the most and then create more opportunities to do that more often.
That's really beautiful and profound what you just said. And so I thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So Philip, who and or what is important to you?
Ooh. So to be real with you, black people are really really important to me. I mean, when you talk a little bit about my career and the work that I do, with the work specifically in Jamaa Health, we are building the largest database of Black healthcare providers in the world. In addition to that, we are also creating opportunities for Black people to get culturally competent content delivered to them through their telephones so that they can own their experience as it relates to their healthcare journey. Why is that important? Because if you were to like go and take a look at all of the different like statistics, Black people are suffering at a really high level as it relates to their healthcare journey. But beyond all that, I think that it's important to me, for Black people to have the opportunity to not only just experience peace and peace of mind, but also to experience all of their brilliance and be able to identify what that brilliance looks like, even though the narrative says something completely different. But if you look at everything that is outstanding in American culture, in one way or another, it is being influenced by Black people. And I think it's important for us to be able to acknowledge what that looks like. And it also create opportunities for us to like benefit from what that looks like. Because for so long, we've been taken advantage of. We have been bamboozled in some ways. And like we've signed deals because we were in situations where we shouldn't have signed a deal. And we got like a short-term fix for potentially what felt like a long-term opportunity. And from my perspective, and I lean heavily into this, especially from a business perspective, is that you have to create opportunities for Black people to not only live well and have peace, but also to get paid. Because we live in a capitalist society, and it's important for you to be able to pay your rent month over month, because we're not just doing this out of the kindness of our hearts. We also are doing this to be able to make sure that we feed our families. And to go back to our first question, when it comes back to like provision, right, and integrity, one thing that I take pride in is creating opportunities for other Black people to be able to not only feed their families, but like provide a living wage so that you're not out here struggling from day to day. So that's one of the things that I just take pride in, as a person, is just being able to create opportunities not only for myself but for the people around me, and making sure that they get paid for their talents and being able to do that at a really high level.
Yes, 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 yes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Hopefully that answered your question.
Oh, absolutely, you did. Absolutely. Thank you, Philip. And no worries, you still got four more chances to answer my question. So, question three is, how do you want us to see you?
Oh, that's funny. I try not to pay that much attention to myself because it can feel weird, like talking about the things that you do that people acknowledge and respect, right? Because in my head, I'm still like just a kid from a small town trying to do as good as he can with the stuff that he has, right? Whether that's a little bit or a lot, right? I don't think it really matters. But I think the thing that I want people to see when they see me is the possibilities. Because like I don't think that I'm like that special, right? I think that I worked hard. I think that I spent the time. I think that I was passionate about the things that I'm like passionate about. but I don't think this is anything that I've done isn't something that anybody else couldn't do if they put their mind to it. And I think that more young people need to hear that from people that look like them who have been in the same situation as them. Like my parents sacrificed a lot. And at one time, just my mom sacrificed a lot just for me and my brothers to not only just have like food on the table, but heat in the house and also make sure that we went to school with decent sneakers, right? Not even gonna say good. And if you were to look at us then and you see where we are now, you would say that how we came up is not connected to where we are today, right? But if you were to like actually watch all of our journeys, you could see that there's like some consistent moments and lessons and the thought that hard work, education, opportunity do actually meet and can create opportunities for you to change the trajectory of your life and everybody else's life that you touch, right? And so, if anything, I want people to look at me and say, if this dude can, this dude from this small city from like Ohio, right? If he can do all the things that he's doing right now, then I can too. Like, and I'm not saying this to brag, right? But last month, my company ran a program and we did over $250,000 in work, right? In a month's time. And that's because we were able to like put it together. We understood what our market value was. We understood how to create an opportunity. We understood how to deliver at a really high level. And we also understood what it took to bring really great people to the table to make this happen, right? But at the end of the day, it's like you're looking at me and you're not going to see my resume. You're not going to see all the things that I went through. But what I want people to see when they see me is that say I can do that too, right? You're gonna have to pay the cost to do it, right? You're gonna have to spend the time. When I say pay the cost, I mean like you're gonna have to spend the time. You're gonna have to be good at what you do. You're gonna have to get better and make mistakes and do all the things that it takes in order to get there. But it is an opportunity. So maybe it's an underdog mentality. Maybe it's just a thought that like you can lose it all tomorrow if you don't treat it well. But at the end of the day, I think that anybody can do what it is that they want to do if they're willing to go and do it instead of just talk about it or be afraid of the opposition that goes along with it, which is just part of the game. It actually just teaches you all you need to know as you're going through the journey to get to where you want to go.
I get that. I totally get that. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Philip, what is your epic dream?
My epic dream. So, I mean, and I'm on the path for this now, right? One of the things that I really plan on doing, and I don't think I've ever told anybody this, is that my plan is to own land internationally, right? In several different continents. One of those being Africa. And buying some land that is farmland, like agricultural, and also buying land for my family just to have space in so that we can come together, whether that's annually, whether that's twice a year, 4 times a year, every holiday, whatever that looks like, for us all to be together in the same space and find peace of mind. Like, and by peace of mind, I mean like to just relax. Like you can leave all the stresses that exist at home, at home. You can leave all the stresses at work, at work. You can leave all of those things at the door when you get to this place that is our space, right? And I'm on the path for this. I also dream of a space where my son and my daughter will be able to like be all that they can be without the stigmas that potentially go along with American culture. And I also want more young people to be able to have those opportunities to exist as brilliant and beautiful and outstanding and unique as they possibly can be without the stigmas that go along with not specifically Black culture, but American culture specifically. If I were to name it, that would be like racism and capitalism specifically, right? But I want more young people, and this is part of the reason that I started writing books, was because I wanted more young people to see what it looks like for them to be able to just be themselves, right? And I'm not saying this as a plug, but I want to say that the reason that I'm doing this one book is called The 7-Foot Rocket Scientist is because it's about a kid named Benny, and everybody wants him to play in the NBA. He's really, really good at playing basketball. but he loves science. And so he wants to be a rocket scientist more than he wants to be an NBA player. And so he has to make a decision in his life, like, am I going to be what everybody wants me to be, right? And in American culture, that could be like, you can play ball, you can sell dope, you can be a rapper, you can be a singer, you can be on that like reality TV, but like nobody's consistently saying, oh, you can go be a rocket scientist. Like you can make sure that people get to space. You can go and build Teslas. Not only can you build a Tesla, but you can build the brand around Tesla so that you can make sure that people around the entire world are able to move, right? So these are the types of things that I want people to see as a real opportunity. And I want them to be able to see it as like a real opportunity for themselves. So, so yeah, that's my epic dream. And I'm like, I feel like I'm on the path. So yeah.
That is so awesome. That's amazing. Awesome. All of it is absolutely amazing. 7-foot rocket scientist. Yes, that's awesome. I can't wait to read that book. That's great. That's awesome. Excellent. So you've been answering question 5 all along implicitly, but I'm going to ask you explicitly. Mr. Philip Cunningham, who are you?
I mean, I'm just a guy trying to take advantage of the things that I've been given, right? I want to make it to the end of this all with nothing left, right? No talent left, um no ability left unturned. And I was having this conversation earlier with one of my mentors. She's in Senegal. And I was like, at the end of the day, I just want to be worth remark, right? And like people talk about this idea of remarkable, right? But like if I want people when they leave my presence or when I leave their presence to feel empowered, but also the remark that they would leave or the thing that they would say about me is that guy Phil is a really good dude. His energy is really strong. I feel better being with Phil than I did before I met with Phil. I feel like I don't like him, but you know what? He's actually a stand-up guy, right? Like I want to be worth remark. I want to be remarkable. At the end of the day, that's really what I'm most interested in is being able to take my talents and the skills that have been given to me by the creator, whether you believe in God, Allah, whoever it is, whatever little bit of skills I've been given, I just want to use as much as I can so that at the end of the day, people are not only inspired to do what it is that they are made to do, but that they're like unafraid to actually follow whatever that path looks like. And so this is a non-traditional, hopefully inspirational perspective to just go and do what it is that you made to do. And you'll find your people and you'll find your space and you'll find the confidence. And sometimes it'll be lonely, but it'll make sense in the end. And so I want people to like see me and see themselves doing what it is that they're supposed to do. And hopefully that's worth remark. Hopefully that's remarkable.
I love this so much. I love that turn of the phrase worth remark. And I don't know if I've ever heard that before. Thank you for that. Remarkable. Makes me think of the many definitions of that word remarkable. It's worth remark. Thank you. Thank you for that. And so here we are already at question 6, which is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't ask you or you wanted me to ask you that I didn't? In other words, what did I miss?
I mean, I think you covered a lot of it. I think the one thing that you could have asked that I would have loved to say would have been, what is something that I want to say to everybody else, right? What is the piece of advice that I would say to everybody else? And I would say, and I think some people may have heard this, is that the lie that is told to many of us is that it's not that easy. But in reality, it is. Like most of it is that easy, right? It's just that you have to do all the things that are attached to the thing that it is that you want. And those things aren't actually hard, or maybe use a different word. They are simple things to do. Many of the things that you want to do are simple. Many of the big goals and big ideas and things that we want to be able to create in the world are actually like simple steps. I think it just takes consistency, takes some grit, it takes some guts, it takes some sometimes just putting down the ideas that people have been giving to you your entire life in order for you to just go after the thing that you're supposed to go after, right? But it is actually that simple, right? It is actually that easy. If you just get up and go and do the thing, and when they say no, you continue to do it until you are undeniable at whatever it is that you are supposed to be doing, then it does feel simple. It does feel easy, especially when you're operating out of like the thing that you're supposed to do, right? When you are operating out of your skill set, out of the thing that was given to you, there's nothing in the world that can stop you. Sometimes you're only getting no's because it's giving you the reps so that when you get to the space where you're supposed to get to, you have enough maturity and you have enough learning to be able to keep yourself there. Because if it comes to you way too easy, like you won't even appreciate it the way that you're supposed to appreciate it, or you won't have enough nuance in your skill set to keep yourself in that particular role. And so, I mean, I've spent the last, how old am I? Yeah, I've spent the last 25, 30 years really just trying to go after, the things that are inside of me and using those things up, whether that's creativity on the business side, creativity as an artist, creativity as a collaborator with other great artists to be able to create things that ultimately help Black people live better lives and find peace of mind. My goal is that when you or anybody watches this years from now, that they're like, it actually is pretty simple. And it's not that difficult for me to go after the things that I want to go after. It's not hard for me to leverage my skills to be as good as I could possibly be. And at the end of the day, you can be all those things. You can be beautiful, brilliant, outstanding, and you can leave the rest behind because it never was for you. The way that people feel about you ain't even really your business. So, yeah, I think that would be it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you said all of that. That's amazing. I believe so strongly that what people feel about me and how people think about me really is none of my business. That's their business. It's none of my business. And it's very difficult in our society to get to that place of knowing, because it's like, feels like the machine is doing everything but it can to keep us from full awareness of who we are and what we were put here to do. And so I'm so grateful for all the words that you've used today. I'm grateful for the work that you do, the thoughts that you think, and the people that you influence. I'm just really your place in the world. I'm so grateful. We just met right before this, so I know I am enriched. My life has been enriched for had this conversation with you, and I'm so grateful. So I honor you, my king. I pray that your epic dream comes true sooner rather than later. All the parts of it, which is really amazing. And thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for contributing to this.
Thank you for having me. I really do appreciate this. I think this
Absolutely.
is a platform that I think will inspire people for millennia. Mm-hmm. So thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you have found your thing.
Thank you. Me too. I'm so grateful. I'm really grateful. And I want you to stay right there because I want to thank the audience for joining us today. I really hope you had a whole bunch of aha moments go off in your brain the way my synapses are firing all over the place. I said to Philip before this, I said, I'm calling it. I set the date and I was like, you wait. One day you're going to come back to me and you're going to say, I told you were right. That day I said something and inspired someone. So I'm going to say right now, Philip, I may be the one, but but I do hope that you really enjoyed this and that you got something out of this. And if you want to see a Black man in your life highlighted and listened to in this forum, please click the link below or in my bio, fill out the nomination form, and we'll take it from there. That's actually how we got to know Philip today. We are on this quest to talk to as many successful and positive Black men as we can to change this narrative, because we know there are so many. It's hard to distill it into one archetype because there is no one archetype for successful Black men, for successful human beings in general. But, and I should say, success is not, I don't define success by what one does for a living. As long as it's legal and it's not hurting people, because I've learned those things can be mutually exclusive.
That's
people
true.
and not hurting people. Um, those are the brothers I want to talk to. They may be founders of this awesome healthcare system, healthcare awareness, if you will, or not. We are interested in the brothers whose content of their character is in making a positive influence and impact on the people around them, starting with the nuclear family and to the community writ large. Those are the brothers that we want to contribute to this. And I know you know somebody, so please feel free to click that link and let's keep this conversation going. And stay tuned next week for yet another amazing king. And in the meantime, please remember to spread love and have a great day. Thank you so much. And Philip, thank you. That was really, really awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.